chilling in the room today.
Alright.
Hey everybody, welcome to Off the Chest Podcast number 10. This is number 10 for you. The big 1-0.
Pretty sure we're past 10, dude.
No. There was a bit of a hiccup with the original 10 we recorded.
Okay.
That one didn't work out too well. I'm not going to get into that on this one, but this is the new 10.
Okay, hey, new and improved, better?
Yep.
Yep.
A better version of 10.
Yeah.
I am your co-host, Rakesh. I got with me the co-host, Melvin.
What's up? I have no idea what I'm saying.
And we got the other hostess not with us, Tim and Andrew.
They're MIA. Missing in action.
Well, one of them is. The other one came up with a piss poor excuse, and then it's like, have you ever said something bad about someone and then like see something?
They both have decent excuses.
Oh, I gotta tell you something else about. We'll talk about this after.
Okay.
But
Tim and Andrew suck dick.
I thought we were gonna say that on the air, but yes, I'm happy for them.
I see what you mean by piss poor and sucking dick. It makes sense. It makes sense.
Look, I'm very happy for them to finally come out. Obviously Melvin and I, we don't hate the gay community. I mean, now we found out two of our
Good friends, yeah.
podcasters that do it with us could possibly be gay.
Am I gonna wear a cup every time we record now? Yeah, probably.
But am I gonna implement a new rule like 3 meters apart? Yeah, probably.
And no one's allowed to stand behind us at any time.
Definitely never, ever, ever gonna have a bar of soap anywhere. But nah, we're kidding. We're messing with you. The other two can't be here, but what we want to talk about with you guys today is TV shows. Melvin and I were big fans of TV, and we thought that we'd get into now that every single TV show that is on the primetime network is all kind of concluded. We thought we'd discuss a little bit about the shows, about their finales, kind of what we want them to become, what we expect of the next season, or shows that are cancelled, and why we might be upset. I think, without any further ado, Melvin, let us begin with How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah, probably the show with the biggest revelation this year.
Yeah, one of the biggest revelations, but also one of the crappiest seasons.
Yeah, look, they had to bullshit out a season somehow,
Yeah.
somewhere, and it was a really, really rushed season. Between a mid-season proposal for a wedding and by the end of that season having the wedding.
But see, now the thing is, in this season finale, we are talking about Robin and Barney getting engaged and them about to get married. But one of the things that the finale didn't do is it was all leading up to this wedding. And when the final episode came around, I was expecting the wedding, and it's like, there is no wedding.
No, they're going to use it as a season opener. But on the plus side, they did show you the actual mother.
They finally showed you the mother. Yes, what we have been waiting 8 years for.
But they didn't show the meat.
Yeah. The whole Met part wasn't part of it.
Not yet.
And one of the things I noticed right away is, as soon as I saw the mother, I was like, no, this is just Lily. What's going on?
It's Lily with Robin's hair.
Yeah, which I think is kind of a cool thing to do, because it's like those are two big female parts of Ted's life.
Yeah.
And and she's some weird hybrid thing. I wonder if that's going to become a gag of season 9.
I got your wives
combined.
combined.
I could just imagine Barney and Marshall being like so freaking upset. But one of the things that this show ended with was with Marshall all of a sudden becoming a judge, and so he finally has a job again. And him and Lily and their son Marvin were like literally moments away from going
to
Rome on a flight after the wedding, of course. But it ends with 56 hours before the wedding. I'm just hoping when season 9 starts, it's not all about those 56 hours.
Please God, no.
I really don't want it to be like that. Melvin, my wish list for season 9 is that he actually sees the mother and they actually start conversing. And
Well, it's the official last season.
yeah, it's officially been announced that season 9 is going to be the final season, but I want them to actually kind of interact. I don't
Oh,
want
they
it to.
will. I mean, how long can the wedding go to? Like the first 2 episodes. That's it.
Well, they could have that like they meet, but then like you know that how it's like he meets her properly after the wedding.
Yeah.
They could just show the wedding and then skip forward a few weeks, and then not say what happened at the train stop kind of thing.
Either way, how they do it, as long as they show an extensive time with the mother and Ted, you're good to go.
That's on our wish list. We want a good portion of like, because like you've had 8 years of building up this character,
Yeah.
and it's just been building and building and building, and you're trying to get an idea into your mind, and finally you get an idea of what she looks like, but we have no idea what she's gonna actually be like. Why is she gonna?
Yeah. I hope they don't just bombard you with all the stuff that they told you about her in the past in just one or two episodes.
like
It needs to be spread out really well.
it really does. I'd really like to see them going on dates and that kind of shit,
Yeah.
and
Get in fights and shit as well.
yeah. You get out of the whole reggae thing, and maybe you see them eating a couple of sandwiches.
Yeah, man. All right. Next show.
Next show. All right. Next show is another big thing of Melvin and I's. This show got cancelled. It was running for 7 years, 7 seasons. Rules of Engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a really small 7 seasons. I mean,
It
they're
wa-
like 12, 3 episodes each sometimes.
No, it was 13.
13.
Yeah,
I
13
remember like a couple
episodes
of
a
these
season.
seasons were like 6, 7 episodes. Or
No.
some shit.
It was always 13.
Okay.
This is the big David Spade, Patrick Wahlberg show. Now, this show was put in a very awkward position because it was put in as a filler for when they often cancel a lot of TV shows. They would then air this program, and the thing is, it always came back with astounding ratings and everything like that. So it was such a great marvel to see it, last this long for us to see, and I really enjoyed the show. Melvin really enjoyed the show. Now let's quickly talk about the final episode for this.
Yeah.
Wow, kind of an odd route it takes. So the entire past 3 seasons have been Audrey and Jeff trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
And,
Jen and Adam getting married.
that's been recurring for the entire thing.
Yeah.
And then Russell, who's played by David Spade, and then there is the added character from season 3, Timmy. Now, so in the final episode, it's so Jeff and Audrey finally had their baby. Audrey finally finds out that she's pregnant again. Well, not again, for the first time.
Yeah.
And, Jeff kind of realizes he has super sperm.
Yeah.
Jennifer and Adam finally get married. It was
Really simply just in a hospital chapel.
It was really good to see, like, that was what the show was about. That's what it was always building up to, but I never thought it would actually, like, blow that horn. But, it actually did. Yeah, and then as soon as they get married, one of the funny things happens where it's an odd thing, because if you watch this show, you find out that the character of Timmy is actually a US citizen.
Yeah.
But somehow...
No, is he?
Yeah, in season 5, they have this big citizen party.
Oh,
thing.
okay. Oh, that's right.
And then Jen clogs the toilet and blames it on the 2 twins, and that whole thing happens, and then it's kind of weird in this finale because it's Timmy no longer has a work visa, even though he's a citizen, so it ends with Russell and Timmy getting married, which is it really took a strange route there.
Yeah, you just kind of very what's the word?
Gay.
I was gonna say hypocritic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hypocritical in the
Because
sense
it's already stated something, and then it's saying, "Oh no, sorry, that's not right."
Yeah.
We're just gonna go with whatever bullshit we make up.
yeah.
Some really bad writing.
It was. I mean, and it's a sitcom. It's a kind of a. There's not too much that people can do with sitcoms.
Yeah. But here's the thing: like, I don't mind if they casually mention Timmy was a citizen, and it's like, "Oh no, wait, sorry, he's not." But they had a whole episode dedicated to it,
Yeah.
and then then it's like, "Oh, sorry, no."
Yeah. Very, very confusing. Alright, moving on from that, we had the ending of 30 Rock. Now, this was a big show. I was a real big fan of that. It was Tina Fey's show about kind of like what happens beneath Saturday Night Live. Overall, it was a really good finale. I mean, it got a lot of attention by critics and everything. It wasn't a high rating show anymore. Like it used to be, but as the years progressed, certain other shows came out, kind of stole the thunder. I was very pleased with the finale. I was happy with what they did with all the characters. I thought it was a very neat way that they wrapped things up. Now let us go on to another show that I'm not really a big fan of, but because I started watching it, I have to keep watching it. It's the same. Anytime I watch a show, no matter how much I now hate it, if I liked an episode, well, damn, I have to watch them all. It's Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Big Bang Theory.
Now, Melvin, you're a fan of this show.
I'm a fan in the sense that I liked where it started. I mean, it's a very different show now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did like it a lot.
It's really lost the plot.
Not really. It's just they see. Everyone's afraid of characters having growth. Then later on, they're like, "Oh, look, it's been 8 seasons. There's been no growth." So I prefer the actual growth over no growth.
How many seasons has it been?
6.
6. Yeah, and so what happens in this finale? We get Raj and the girl he was seeing break up, and kind of Raj finally overbreaks his whole.
Can't talk to women thing.
Yeah. That finally ended, and turns out everyone's sick of it.
Yeah.
Leonard gets invited to go to a Stephen Hawking research thing. Not much happens with Sheldon, apart from him being annoying as all hell, as always.
It was a really tame finale compared to last year, where they had Wallowitz getting married.
Yeah, him getting married, which was a very left-wing kind of thing to do. I mean, with a show like that, you don't expect it to go down the whole engagement kind of thing.
Engagement marriage thing, yeah.
And really take the route of standard sitcom. Now, one of the things that first appealed to me with this show is it was a show about geek culture, geek humor. It's not really about that anymore. It's about referencing it.
Not geek. I wouldn't say geek. The difference between geek and nerd is that geeks are idiots. It's a nerd thing.
It's all right. You want to? Let's go down that way then. All right. It was a very kind of. To begin with, they were nerds, but now this show's kind of gone on to go like, well, they're kind of social.
Yeah.
Now it's really stupid. I don't like it. You know, if anything, if we were to give this the off the chest podcast rating, I would give that show a 3. The only reason it gets to 3 points is because Penny, the actress that plays Penny, is so fucking hot, and just to see her in a tight shirt or whatever, that's always a marvel to look at.
Funny bastard. It's better than that, dude.
Yeah. Well, maybe for you, not for me. Now, continuing on with kind of nerdy shows. When this, let's go on to Community right now.
Yeah.
Community is kind of it's a NBC sitcom. It's much lower recognized, but it's massive with its online fans.
Yeah.
This is a show Melvin and I, we really, really love. This is a big show for me. Now, when
I'm going to go the same route with Big Bang. I started off really in love. Now it's just something I watch. And I still like a lot, but it's something I watch.
So that's now you with Community now?
Yeah,
or?
as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, season 1 to 3 had its series creator, Dan Harmon, and the first 3 seasons of the show, it was really magnificent. Holy crap. I recommend to anyone out there, watch the first 3 seasons of Community. It is it's one of the greatest sitcoms I've ever seen, apart from Arrested Development. But we'll get into that a little bit later. Yeah, it's one of the greatest shows I've ever seen. And now it was when the announcement came for it getting renewed, it was kind of like a thing where the series creator, he got fired from the show. Chevy Chase quit the show.
Yeah.
Everyone was kind of like, how's it going to work out? They're bringing in new showrunners. They still have some of the same writers and stuff. But this season felt a little offbeat. I felt like it was starting to find itself by the 10th episode. For me, this is how I kind of felt. And then it cut off at 13th episode. And, but it got renewed again. which is kind of a weird thing because you know if you look at it in terms of a college basis, it's like 4 years is kind of like a known thing to go through, like with any kind of uni TAFE kind of thing. Well, TAFE kind of goes for 2 years, but like colleges, I mean,
Yeah.
and unis kind of go for 4 years. But the fact that they even took that route, it's like, it's kind of normal to
Yeah.
understand that, but now they're kind of renewed for a fifth season, so
It's like, oh god, don't try and stretch it out.
yeah, they really are trying to stretch
What,
it
what,
out.
what
Now.
happened was like season 4 was a piece of shit, and now they're getting a knife and they're smearing it all over into season 5.
We don't know. They could really find their balance on this.
No, they won't. It's a smear. I know a smear when I see a smear.
I still like the characters on that show.
Yeah, and I know you're attached to the characters, and that's why you keep watching it.
And Alison Brie.
I knew you were gonna say that. I was just about to say that.
Sorry, Melvin. I had to beat you to the punch of
I
that.
don't mind you being touched. I just knew it was coming.
And the meta humor that is of Abed. You know that it felt a little weird this season. It wasn't as good as it was in the previous seasons. But hey, you know we'll take what we can get. Anyway, moving on, I want to quickly go on to one of the stars from Friends, Matthew Perry. He started his own show called Go On. Now, I know with a show like that, everyone's like, well, I know what I'm going to do when I see that on my channel. I'm going to go on to the next thing. But I actually really enjoyed this show. I thought...
It did pretty well ratings-wise as well, didn't it?
To begin with, yes, it did really well. But then I think American Idol finished or something like that, and they changed the schedule around. And then the ratings got really bad, and so the show got cancelled. Now this is a show which I also recommend people watch. I think it was a very good show for when it did last. It's unfortunate to see it end, yes, but
I just remember in the news where like some reporter went up to Matthew Perry. He's like, "Hey, I heard you got big news today. Congratulations." He's like, "Yeah, my show got axed." It's hilarious.
oh, what a sad way to go out. A few other things I want to quickly mention is CSI New York. After last year when CSI Miami ended, everyone was like, "Wow, a CSI franchise that's ended? That's quite a shocker." And I actually watched CSI New York. I was a big fan of it. It kind of lost its hype after season 6. After season 6, 7, 8, season 7, 8, and 9 were kind of bleh. But I still watch it because it's that thing. I gotta watch every show that I start watching. That show finally met the chopping board. It's now being cancelled. But hey, you know, nothing else we can really do about that. Now, you know, your procedural shows from CBS, NCIS is still running season 10. They got renewed for season 11. I'm pretty sure that was like announced a long time ago. I'm pretty sure that was announced by the time season 10 was announced.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of that series, so I haven't watched too much into that. Melvin's currently rewatching the show. I mean, he says it's really good.
So good.
I am watching NCIS LA, however, and this season hasn't really been that good. Like, you can tell with the production value and everything, it's kind of gone downhill. But it kind of ends on a cliffhanger with 2 of the main characters being tortured. And it's like, what will happen next? But yeah, those 2 shows, the NCIS shows, they got renewed. Only the one of the CSIs now live, the CSI Vegas one. That's still going. Still on CBS, I just want to quickly mention Persons of Interest. That's also a really, really good show. I love that show. That got renewed for a season 3. Can't go too much into that right now. But it was definitely an interesting finale. A few other things got cancelled that I'm a big fan of. Happy Endings, which I hear might be being brought on to a cable show now, which I'm really looking forward to. This 3rd season wasn't as good, but I felt like season 1 and 2 of Happy Endings was a much better show. Obviously, we can't get the same show that we got from season 1 and 2 to expect to go on season 3.
That's true.
And season 4, it's no longer going to go on.
You have Suits?
Suits, yes, Suits got renewed. That was announced a while ago. That's a summer series that's coming back. So that'll be back in like a few months, and by the time I put this up, it'll probably be like 1 month or a few weeks or something like that. That ends I feel like if you watch season 1 and 2, for me personally, I preferred season 1. Some people prefer season 2. Season 2 is kind of like more divulging into their characters and kind of all about relationships and things like that, whereas the thing I loved about season 1, it was very hard existential show, which kind of showed, yeah, it divulged a little bit of the characters, but it didn't go too much into them. And it was a very different show, mainly because of, like, yeah, it's a lawyer type of procedural show, but there's a cool twist to it. I highly recommend people watch it. It's a very good show. Yeah, got a few other things getting renewed. Arrow, that's a show that kind of was really shitty to begin with. I mean, really shitty, and then it got good as it eventually went along. Melvin, did you ever get into watching Arrow?
No. Just mentioning Mad Men, it's not over yet, but it has been possibly renewed for a 7th season, which will be its final season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's going to be interesting. I must say, because Mad Men's one of those things where I don't see it having an ending.
You could honestly just keep going as long as Don Draper keeps working. You can keep going with it. But, they do want to give a sense of finality to it. They do want to... You can't linger on that essence that long. It's like... The great thing about what's that noir period, as you say?
Mm-hmm.
The noir period is that, you don't want to just be sitting in there. It's like, oh, there's a noir period. It's untouchable. It's a time that you can't go back to, and that's the greatness of it.
Are they in the 70s now, or are they still in the 60s?
They should be in the 70s.
Oh, so...
But they should be starting off getting into there.
So, I can see with them finally getting in the 70s. I mean, they had a lot more workplace legislations finally coming in. No more drinking.
A lot more TV coming in.
Yeah. Lot less drinking and smoking in your office and, harassing your secretaries. Another fun fact about that show, Alison Brie's in that show.
Yeah.
But Melvin, how do you think that show is going to end? I know this is completely off topic, but I kind of want to know on your perspective because you're such a fan of the show. I'm really interested.
2 ways it's going to end. Well, sorry, 3 ways for me it's going to end. Either Don Draper dies.
Mm-hmm.
Either Don Draper takes over the entire company somewhere because everyone else is old, or just Don Draper and Peter Camp will take over the entire company and it's theirs. Or C, the guy that works the TV station area in that company ends up making his own company and taking over somehow because, TV's the big thing. I forget what his name is, though, the fat guy.
Oh, yeah. I see, the thing is, I know what you're talking about. I'm not sure if the listeners know what we're talking about.
Fat guy, glasses.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Fat guy glasses. Mad Men.
Yeah.
Google that.
Google that.
Free publicity there for Google. I kind of see another option where kind of like, I kind of see the finale kind of becoming a self-reflection thing and just Don realizing how much he's been focusing on his work and how little he's been paying attention to his children and everything like that.
No, he pays a good amount of attention to his children. What I really liked about the early seasons, though, is that like how, as Don was working, you'd look into his past life.
Yeah.
And see what he did and stuff, and looking at previous things. Now it's just a straight-up show.
It's a straight stay in current times. I don't know. For me, I think it could end with Don finally quitting the business and moving away.
I would like, though, in the 7th season to keep having, like, maybe flash forwards.
Ooh, Lost style.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah, just have constant just flash forwards, like, that'd be pretty cool.
Them finally realizing that cigarettes are bad for you.
Yeah, and then obviously in the season finale you'd have, like, a massive link-up, which would be really nicely done, which I reckon they could do well.
I don't know, that show's never kind of had the flash forward thing.
Yeah, I know, but like I wouldn't mind seeing it.
It would be a bit of a stretch. Now, here's the thing, a few other things. Hawaii Five-0 got renewed. This season hasn't really been the best of seasons, but hey, we'll take what we can get of any show. Game of Thrones is ending its season 3. By the time this probably goes up, it could already be ended, but holy crap, that ending for Game of Thrones, if so. Also, another thing I have to mention, because I'm such a big fan of the show, Breaking Bad, the final 8 episodes are finally coming out. What's been rated the #1 television show in it's kind of one of the biggest things in TV history. It's been classed as, and holy crap, it lives up to its name. It's a really good show. I recommend everyone watch this. Breaking Bad, final 8 episodes. But you know what? We can go on all day about these TV shows. Everything was kind of rushed right now. We are working through some things.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a lot more content up for you coming up soon. But check us out if you like us. Give us the like, hit subscribe, youtube.com/Off the Chest Podcast. You can find us under our Facebook page, which is the same name. Thanks for listening.